Anybody here? Hello? Golly, got a couple people in the room here. Terry, Allie, Country Girl, Duncan 1900, Grandma Rose.
I'm going for walks with Allie from now on.
Carrie has some naughty goats. I'm not sure what that's all about.
Traded goats for dog.
Oh, Morgan Brunson is also in here. Good evening. So how is everybody doing tonight? Texas Hill Country. Does Texas have hills?
Does Ohio have Amish?
Well, I've never been to Texas.
I have.
I haven't. I've been to Oklahoma.
You lose.
But I've not
I haven't been to Oklahoma. I can sing it though.
You can sing it? Go ahead. And now tonight, Sherry performing.
No, we're not.
No, we'll probably get another copyright strike. So, how is everybody doing?
There you go. Country Girl told you.
Well, Smudge told her right back.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, Lord, Carrie.
Oh, so, well, you'll just have fat goats then, right? Is that the way that works? I don't know. They don't know when to quit? That sounds like me when I go to a smorgasbord. Jewish Redneck Preppers. Good evening. Okay, well, I had on the title, making some custom titles, or something to that effect. And so that's kind of what I'd like to do here this evening, is get you to think a little bit outside the box using Filmora. So let me bring that on the screen here, and that looks like you can probably see it okay.
JD said hi.
Well, hello. So the way that I'm going to approach this is twofold. We're going to use some of the stuff that they have available to you in here, and then we're going to create and play on our own. So first off, what I need is a background. And let's just grab a white background. I'll bring it down here to the timeline. And now we'll go into the text and credit box. And it doesn't really matter a whole lot which one of these you grab, because we're going to modify it. But we'll just grab this one, and we'll bring it down underneath. As you can see, you can't see anything. That's because the text is white. Just jump into the presets here. Change that color to black. Do the same on this one. Just change that color to black. So now we'll go back up to this first one, and we're going to put in what we want to put in it. And then down here in this one, we'll just go all right, it obviously went off the box, so we'll just kind of pull it back over here. And I don't know. Let's go with a fancier font. So we'll just use the drop down here. And now I want to stretch it out a little bit. Get this one down out of the way. And yeah, we'll change the font on this one too, just so you see how that's all done. Let's see if that doesn't change it a whole lot. So there we go. And again, we'll just enlarge it here a bit. Now, if you notice on this top box here, I have those, it's centered into the screen, into the display area. And this one's close, but just to show you what we can do here, we're going to move it off to the side. So I'm in the top one, I'm going to hold down my control key, click on, we're in the top one, hold down my control key, click on the second line down here, so that they're both highlighted. I can come up here and align them to the center. And it automatically aligns boxes underneath it to the center. Or you could align them to the left or to the right. So, at this point, we're going to click OK. And we'll just bring the timeline over a little bit so that we have it up on the screen, and I'm going to take a snapshot of it. So now let's do the same thing again, only with, let's go with a different something here. I don't know what. We'll click in this one, we'll go into advanced. Gonna make the line black so we can see it. Gonna make these black again so we can see it. All right. And for here, we'll, well, let's make this magic. Title creator. And we'll just say okay with that. I want something a little more. I want something to go into this space over here on the right. So I'll come back into the advanced. And up here on the top, I have the option to add another text line. I can add a shape. I can add an image. Or I can just trash it. But let's add a shape. So we've got a few different shapes to choose from. We'll put the arrow in. And we'll move it over here. Let's turn it around. I'm going to change the color to black as well. And it has a border around it that's blurry. So I'm just going to take the border off so it's a nice and sharp image. I want to make it bigger. And we'll slide the whole thing a little bit more over here to the left. There, that'll be good. So we'll just click OK here. Move the timeline over so that it would be like it's playing and it is displayed this title. We'll take a picture of it. And now we'll go back into the media library. And I need to go get those snapshots I just made. Or do I? Here they are. It automatically puts them in. And I should have told you that. If you didn't have your particular album up, it will put them in the first album that is the default album. So they are already here. Now what I want to do is I want to create some sort of a flashy introductory title stating these two things: two-family homestead, title demo, magic tile creator. So let's go into the simple colors. If you highlight any one of the colors, do a Control A, that should select them all. But trust me on this, from experience, I don't want the black, so I'll press the Control, click on the black. I also don't want the white, I just want the colors. So now all the rest of these have been selected. You can tell with the different color underline. We'll just bring them all down. And by default, these are just like a picture. They're all 5 seconds long. So let's shorten up the timeline. They are all still highlighted. And since they're all still highlighted, I'm going to do a Control C. I'm just going to copy them all. Then a Control V. And what I'm doing here is I am making multiple copies. Identical copies, and I just keep pasting them out. So at this point, being 5 seconds long for each one, we've stretched this out now to a little over 16 minutes. Well, that's not what we want. So we'll highlight an individual one of these. We'll just go to the very first one, highlight it, go into duration, and we're going to make each one of these colors appear on the screen for 1 frame. So put a 0 in here, 0, 1, apply to all. Well, we now have cut this down to considerably in size, quite a bit. These are all 1 second long, so if you play this at this point, you can see how it flashes through the colors in the background here. So let's go back to our default album, because that's where those snapshots were that I created. And I'm going to bring the first one in here as a picture-in-picture. And I'll bring the second one in right behind it. And I'm going to shorten that up just to match the timeline. You could extend these colors out. You can do it either way. And as you can see, these snapshots completely cover the multitude of colors behind them. So we want to modify them. We'll go into this and we'll just do a right click and go into green screen. And we will select the white. The intensity level can maybe make it a little sharper. It can be different with every image that you do this with. There it looks pretty good. I see very little white. Say OK. And we'll do the same thing here with this one. We'll go into green screen. Check it. Pick the white. Let's increase the intensity. Get rid of the little white edges. We'll say OK. So now what I'm going to do here is shorten this one up just a little bit, this first. Let me get down to 3 seconds. We'll slide it over. So now when we play this, you just created your own flashy title screen. You can just export this as a short MP4. You put it at the beginning of your videos or at the ending or whatever you want it to do. But we can go further. Let's go back into the editing on this one. We're going to make that one spin in that way. And this one we're going to spin the other way. So we'll say OK. So now when they do this, if you wanted to go further, let's go back into the green screen. And I have to get this more on here. There we go. Go back into green screen. And oh, I know why it's not showing up. It's not showing up because it's in the middle of the motion. So we'll click no motion. So for the green screen now, instead of having the white, let's go to the black. Just check this again here. It should be fine. Okay. Same thing in this one. Say okay. We'll Make that one slide down. We'll make this one slide up. Okay. And so now when we watch it, so there are a lot of different things you can do right out of the box with nothing fancy. And it's completely 100% uniquely yours. You don't, it's not a out of the box item that everybody has because they bought the program. If you want to use that same thing instead of eliminate all of this stuff. And let's grab something here. Okay, this is a 20-second introduction clip. So you can see what it is. That's for one of our Monday night shows. So now we're going to go back to and let me back up for just a moment here. I created these white and black. You do not have to do that. We can take the little crosses there because I got rid of that file. We'll find it. Yeah, file does not exist. I cleaned up a bunch of stuff, so a lot of these no longer exist where they were. Oh, somewhere in here. There it is. Okay, we'll bring this down. As you can see, this is definitely not black and white, but we can do the same thing with that green screen. We'll go in here and we'll do green screen, and we'll select it using the white. And I'm going to make it a little bit stronger because some of that's not pure white, so we're going to increase the intensity level and I got a lot more of it. So now when you play this, you can hardly see that behind it. So I'm going to say, geez, that's a fail. We'll go back into here. Go back into that green screen. And we're going to make it the blue color. And because this is a lot longer clip, I'm going to stretch this out so it takes more time. So that can give you an idea on creating some custom titles. So I'm going to take my eyes off the editing screen here for a minute, take a look here in the chat. Practical Modern Homestead, did you use our TubeBuddy link? Shame on you if you didn't, but that's okay. It's a good program. You can just type tube in the chat there, and Smudge will give you the link. Hello, Larry Johnson. How are you this evening? So, does anybody have any questions about what we did and how we did it, and some of the outside of the box thinking? What is TubeBuddy? TubeBuddy it's a business. First and foremost, it's a business that is in business to help creators. They have a lot of tools that you can use. Let me do this. I'll bring this up on the screen. Okay, so it's a collection of tools that can help you. Give you a health report, your channel, launchpad, backups and export, canned responses, promo materials, usage statistics. It is various different licensings are available. I have a pro license, which doesn't give me everything, but it gives me a lot of things. Just for example, if I go into the member perks.
Okay, when you're done, I have a question from Carrie.
Okay. This gets me into Audio Hero, which has 250,000 royalty-free music, tracks, and sound effects.
You should try that one.
It also gets you into Juke Deck, which is all computer-generated audio tracks. It gets you a discount on Epidemic Sound. It gets you some of the tuber tools. It can link everything together for you. And of course, well, we are a member of the affiliate program. And we've had a number of clicks, but nobody's decided to sign up under us. So as you can see, we have made 000, just like YouTube. We make 000. So nothing new there. But it's a good program. It gives you a little bit of insight on your videos. There's a few tools in the browser that save you from going and looking up stuff. We can tell right away how many views we've had in the past hour. There's a little counter on the browser and things like that. So it's a nice program. I certainly encourage you to go ahead and sign up. You know, click through and take a look at it. If you decide it's something you want, the pro version is not very much money. I think it's like $20 a year or something to that effect. So it's not a lot of money. And you know, make your own choice if you decide it's worth it or not. So anyway, what was it? What do we need?
YouTube music, are you adding it in Filmora or in YouTube?
Oh, I'm adding it in Filmora. Absolutely 100% add it in Filmora. I'm assuming everybody knows where the music is in YouTube. And if not, we'll just show you here real quickly. If you go into your Creator Studio, and down at the bottom of the list over here is a tab named Create. Click on that. And this brings you into their audio library. So you can play any of these online. If you choose to download one, you can download them over here. When you click on one, let me see where I have the sound here. Okay. When you click on one, it opens, makes the window wider. And it tells you if you have to use an attribution for it or not. Now, there's all sorts of search features on this. You can search by the genre or the mood, instrument searches, the length of the file, and whether or not you have to use.
Just because they're on here doesn't mean you're not going to get dinged for them.
All right. As you can see, they have two different selections here. There's actually three. Attribution is not required, which means you don't have to post anything. Attribution required, which means you do have to post if you use that music. And of course, all licenses show you everything. But just to show you here, we'll go into attributions required, and we'll click this. And everything here, oops, didn't want that to be highlighted. Pretty much have to just copy this part that I have highlighted across here and just paste it in your description of the video that you have this song in. And at that point, you're free to use it. Now, as probably most of you know, I've put together a lot of, I'm titling it holiday music, Christmas music. There's some Hanukkah music. There's festive music. It's a playlist that I've been streaming in the wee hours of the evening and some mornings and afternoons. Every song in those playlists that I'm using originated either out of this audio library, and in the case of any of those songs that needed attribution, the attribution is listed in the description area of that stream. So I covered all my bases. I think I've only had 2 occasions where I haven't been hit for a copyright violation. Now here's what really makes it interesting. When you get hit with a copyright violation, you're informed just what the problem is. And for the most part, what happens, some big company usually some big music company, and the last dealings I just had today were with Warner Brothers, have these bots that run through the YouTube videos looking for 1s and 0 matches to files that they supposedly have the rights to. And if it finds this, it marks that, hey, we have a song in here that belongs to us, and you're playing it, and you're not allowed to. So we're going to just attack your entire video and take all the money it might have earned from any type of advertising. And they can do this. At that point, you are not getting anything for that video if anybody watches it or anything to that effect. Well, in their dispute or in their claim, they put down time figures. So at this point in the video, this song is ours, and because this 2-minute song out of this 10-hour video is quote-unquote ours, we're going to get any revenue that you might get, we're going to take. Not exactly fair, but that's neither here nor there. The problem is, as I just stated, every song that I'm playing has either originated from this library or from Audio Hero, which I have the rights to through my TubeBuddy account. And what Warner Music said, hey, you have a video that has, do you remember what the name of it was? The name of the song was that they said?
What child is this? No, that's what it was.
The name of the song was,
I don't remember.
What Child Is This is what was really playing, but anyway, they didn't match. They didn't even sound close. I mean, the tunes, it was just plain bogus. So I appealed it, and they denied my appeal. So I went in and I specifically pulled it out, and I said, here's the file that's playing at that time period. It in no way matches what you are claiming it to be. In no way. It doesn't even sound the same. It's not even close. So in other words, your little bot that scrambles through all these zillions of files screwed up. So how about backing off? And they did. They actually did. But I went a step further. I mean, I appealed it through YouTube, and I wrote a letter directly to them. Of course, I asked for a response and an apology, but I doubt if I'll ever see that. If I do, I'll probably make a video on it. That might go viral.
Yes.
But that's what happens. If you and it's no secret, if you have a copyrighted claim on your,
Yeah, Broussard said, "Don't hold your breath." Got that right.
yeah, if you have a copyright claim on any of your videos and you dispute it, and you can see here, this says a copyright dispute in progress, copyright dispute in progress, copyright dispute in progress. All of those do. That's all from those music streams. They're all playing out of the exact same files. And I suppose, well, just to show you, because I'm guessing some people have not ever seen one of these. Hopefully you never do. So we'll click on the copyright dispute. It says your dispute is currently being reviewed by the copyright owner. I'll receive a response within 30 days. And this is from a company called AdRev Publishing. And they claim that I am playing in this Peace on Earth Megatrix, whatever that is, music composition. But this is the time period. from 46 minutes 11 seconds to 47 minutes 9 seconds. And YouTube does make this very nice. I can play the match.
Oh, Grizz did get a copyright on JD's song.
Okay, so that's the song. They tell me what it's in. Then what I have to do is I have to go onto my computer and I have to go into my music files, and I have a Christmas playlist here. These are all Christmas songs from YouTube, and I have to find the one in here that matches. I have a second file that is in Audio Hero. It's for Christmas, and these are all of the songs from Audio Hero, which I have rights to play. But I need to come in here, I need to find this, I need to say this is what's being played, here's where I got the file from, and I have rights to use this file and this and that. And it's a bunch of baloney. But that's what they will do to you. Of course, this company, this AdRed Publishing and Warner Music and all these others, in the first place, they're hoping you don't do anything. They're hoping you just bend over and say, well, okay, I must have been bad, but I know better. In my case, I know better. If I have put something up there that's questionable, okay, then I would do nothing and just let them have it, or take it down so they didn't get anything from me. But I don't have anything viral. None of our videos are worth more than
2 cents. I don't know.
I'm going to say none of our videos have generated more than $12. None of them. And the overall average is a heck of a lot less than that. So anyway, that's just a little bonus YouTube trivia thrown in there for the Filmora stuff for tonight. So getting back into the questions here. Gosh, I don't see any questions for me. Did I explain it that well? Brian J, 123458. Don't think I've seen you in here before, and I will say hello. Thank you very much for stopping. What is Allie flirting with Smudge?
They're all flirting with Smudge. Even Brian. $18. Fireman Sweet, where's Green Bay Wacky? Not here. $10, 99%, $1. You got that right, Grizz. Green Bay Wacky.
Oh.
Now you can pin him down for a Monday night.
Well, yeah. Green Bay, we want to get you on the schedule for Monday night before we run out of 2019 dates. So,
Nate is asking you a question.
Okay.
How did you get the custom smudge bot that you can talk through in your videos? That's an app on his phone.
No.
Oh, really?
Oh, well, oh yes.
It was.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Don't confuse me.
Well, when you said bot, my mind went to the bot that's in the chat, but that's not what they asked. So there is a bot, or there's an app for the phone called Talking Pets.
No, not like next Monday. Green Bay, the next date we have open is February 18th, I think. February 18th is the next open date, so that date and any Monday after.
Well, there is Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve is open. But
and Cab 7 is here. Woohoo!
But on the other side of that,
we have to get to Pennsylvania, Mr. Cab 7.
Mr. Green Bay, on the other side of that, I know that you use this Filmora product, and I would like it very much if you would consider joining me some Tuesday night on the screen here, and you and I can chit-chat about Filmora. I've been doing it for well over a year here, and trying to show people various ins and outs. I kind of took a little bit out of the video that you just did here recently on green screens, but I applied it in a different format. And so I'll tell those in the room here that Green Bay Wacky put out a very nice video on how to using green screens in your video production. What I did here earlier this evening was utilized it for making title screens. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good, Green Bay Wacky. So,
God, between Fireman and Cab and Green Bay, let's get this conversation going.
We should be able to.
You need to have a funky hat on. And Green Bay has his cheese hat. Where's that hat I bought you? That's in the camper. It's nice and chilled. That's up on the shelf above the couch.
It is.
Camper.
Yeah, my nice leather hat.
Yes, Green Bay, we're on Twitter and Instagram and probably some others that I don't even know how to use yet.
Chris, why would you want to be a fly on the wall? So anyway, let me touch back on what we covered here earlier this evening. Does anybody have any questions as to what we did, how we did it, why we did it? I suppose I can do this again here very quickly, and this is just whatever you want to do. If you want to highlight everything within your selection box, just do highlight one, do a Control A, it'll highlight the rest. I told you that in my particular case, I'm taking the black and the white color screens out. All the rest of these will come down as individual files. We're going to shorten them up. They're all highlighted. Do a Control-C to copy them, Control-V to paste them. You can just keep repeating till you get a number of them out there. Highlight any one of them. Go into duration.
Okay, Practical Modern Homestead. I already asked a question. Going back there to find it.
Okay, while she's finding it, I'm going to make each of these color panels 1 frame in length. Not even a second, just 1 frame in length. So I set it to 1 frame. I say apply it to all. And then we'll just kind of stretch it out so you can see a little bit of it here. So now we have a multitude of colors that just flash through.
Reminds you of the 70s, doesn't it, Cab? Oh, I'm sorry, Cab.
So we'll go back and we'll take one of these black and white pictures. And by default, that's 5 seconds unless you've made a change. And we'll just edit that. We'll go into advanced editing. And we will there we go. So now when this is played, it jumps out. If we want to animate it, we can do that. Guess I didn't do it. So that's just a very quick way you can make your own titles. Make them any length you want. Just export it as a small MP4 file. You could add it to the beginning, add it in the middle. You can do a lot of things with it. You can put another title on top of it. Your imagination is the only thing limiting you.
You ready?
Yes.
Okay, Practical Modern Homestead. When you use transitions in Filmora, will the music fade too if you add it after you add the music?
No, you have to adjust the music in Filmora. And I'll just show you very quickly how we can do that. We're going to just grab one of their default songs here, pull it in. I guess I went too far. Okay, it does.
Yeah, Bruce Hart says, I hope nobody's epileptic. Yeah, you got that right.
Those of you that have been with me for a while, I'm sure you've seen me do this before. But if I decide that I want this music to be more or less a full volume at the beginning, and then as either something comes in, they start talking, or in this case, I'm going to use where this image starts as a point where I want the music to fade out. So as long as your timeline marker is not on this box, this clip that you want to use, by clicking on that clip, it'll go to the beginning. So if I get the timeline marker off that clip, and now it's not going to do it for me. There we go. It will go to the beginning. That lines it up perfectly. I highlight this bottom, and I cut my music. I'm going to edit the music to the right side where I want it to be lower. I can just go in and pull the volume down. Your ears will tell you best whatever you want it to be. On the left side where I want it to be louder, it's at full strength at this point, but I want it to fade out. I usually run my fades right at about a second. Say okay. So now when you play it, and perhaps that wasn't a dramatic enough switch.
Jeez.
And if anybody out there is epileptic, I claim no responsibility.
Like your light shows back in the 70s, dear. Does Filmora have their own music list, or do you have to get it from YouTube Creator?
There's a relatively small selection of music that comes with Filmora. The majority of it is, in my taste, my taste does not agree with their music selection, for the most part. I guess that's the best way to say it. But there are some in here, and you get the rights from Filmora to utilize that music. Now, having said that, this is another one that I have had copyright strikes on. Then I have to go in and appeal the copyright strike and say the music being played in this came from Filmora, which I have a licensed copy of the software, came with it. They tell me I can use it. And they'll generally, 30 days later, go, okay, you can use it. So hopefully that gives you some of an idea of what different things you can do. I see that my hour is almost up. The bewitching hour is here.
Bewitching hours here?
Bewitching hour.
My hours are closing.
So.
The sweet spot toward the madhouse. Yeah. Anybody doing any Black Friday shopping?
I don't know.
I'm putting that question out there.
I'm not planning on going out on Black Friday.
I'm not. Oh no, Howie. No, last time we went out on Good Friday was before we moved here, wasn't it? That time I schlepped you out.
Yeah,
that
I think
Friday
it was.
morning.
Yeah.
That was when that one place was still there on 4th Street next to Toys R Us.
It's ridiculous.
What was that store? That electronics store?
Circuit City.
Circuit City. We stood in line. It was like 5 a.m. No. If I do shopping, I do it online. And when you do it online, you can start Thursday night. Plus, if you go through Ebates, you get money back. So, but I don't have money this year, so I was back in my craft room sewing this afternoon. So there's going to be some aprons being sent out and some pillowcases. And it depends how hard I want to look at them, if they're going to be personalized with embroidery on them. Oh, pretty good, yeah. If you worked in retail, yeah. I never worked in retail. I worked 23 years at the phone company until Sprint took over and my job went to Kansas and I didn't. That was a blow for the ego, going from a very well-paying job to a base pay. Woo!
Grandpa Campy, hello.
Hey, Grandpa Campy, how are you? Yeah, Kara, you have to feed those piggy goats of yours.
Well, she should have to feed them for a couple of days, sounds like.
What she had, I think, fed them today. Sounds like us. We can't afford to shop for the kids. We have all these dogs to feed. Not that Shadow's eating much anymore.
Okay, those of you that are, it doesn't have to be Filmora if you're using some other product. If you run across a problem, you're trying to do something, and you get stuck, send me an email. We'll do our best to help you out. It doesn't matter if it's Filmora or Power Director or DaVinci or most any of them. They're all very similar in a lot of ways. Some are just more intuitive than others. So if you have a problem, send me an email. If you have a topic you want me to cover next week, send an email. I'm gonna see if maybe I can't get somebody here to join me for an hour, and we can bounce some creative things off of each other.
Wacky, if you're still in the chat, I'll even make sure that Daryl has some sort of a crazy hat to wear. I'm sure I can find something out there.
That would start something new, huh?
I have a headband with little menorahs at the top for Hanukkah.
Can't I just wear my raccoon head?
Oh, you can. We got those. That's right. You can do that. But they need to be able to hear you.
All right. Folks, it's been a little over an hour or so.
Yeah. Everyone have a great evening.
Yeah, everybody
Happy
have
Thanksgiving.
Great week.
Carrie, send your address either on Gmail or catch me over on Facebook. We see each other over there all the time anyway.
Anything else?
Not that I can think of. Pretty Gold Nano, send that to me because I'll forget. But I agree. I've been going through and trying to find some have graciously refused. Some don't have the bandwidth to do it. So and that's totally understandable. I'd like to get Grandma Rose on here. Grandma Rose is a riot.
Yes.
We had so much fun last year in Mississippi. I can't wait to do it again.
The answer to that, Chris, is certainly I can help you do that.
Grampy Campy, you have a blessed week.
I think you have my number, Grizz. You can give me a call if you want.
Yeah, did you see Googler? I do have a few questions about Premiere Pro. If you could help with that, I'll email you. Go for it, Nate. And if you're home during the day or the night, you can always call him. He'll sit here and you can connect. And
yeah, keep in mind, I haven't been into Premiere Pro for 3 years. But
it's like riding a bike.
Yeah.
Everyone have a fantastic evening. Stay safe if you're traveling.
Yes. Nice holiday weekend. Everybody eat too much on Thursday and stay home on Black Friday.
Liz is going to call you tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow morning, I think we're going out. Daryl has some headsets to return. I have to get some prescriptions.
For those of you that joined us last night, we had a disaster at the beginning.
And if anyone has not done a holiday dessert video and would like to, please do so. I will get your videos added to our playlist. Bruce's wife did one.
I need to put you on the screen to hear you talking, but...
No, you don't need to be on screen. Everyone have a wonderful evening. Happy Thanksgiving.
That it?
That's it.
Night, Gracie.
Night, Gertrude.
Wasn't that Burns or somebody that did that? Night, Gracie?
Yeah, George Burns.
George Burns.
But I don't remember the lady's name.
Must have been Gracie.
I don't know what she said to him. Good night, George. That's why I said good night, Gertrude. That was Red Skelton.
Close enough.
That was the Seagulls.
Take care, everyone. Have a good week. Bye-bye. Bye.